I am personally getting so sick and tired of this talking point, so much so that I don't even want to talk about it, but I'm gonna have to talk about it. Hola, hola, hola todos. Es tu prima favorita, Bobby here. Welcome back to the Cousins Corner. I'm not gonna make this one really long. This is just gonna be a little quick rant that I have, but I see it, you see it, I'm sure we all see it, all of this content about men asking like, what's gonna be your plan B if nobody chooses you, if you don't get married? Some of you women are gonna have to settle, y'all are being too picky, you're gonna end up alone, blah 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 blah. I don't understand what the men are not understanding about women are choosing solitude. They are choosing peace over being disrupted, being disturbed, and having to put up with less. I'm so tired of the talking points. I'm so tired of people trying to gaslight you, men and women trying to gaslight you because you want to choose better for yourself. And this is coming from somebody who desires to be partnered with somebody, right? I'm not saying I'm sworn off men and I don't date. No, I'm not saying that at all. No, I will say that that's not the center focus for me. That is not something that I ever like that. I'm not gonna say that I never. That is not something that I'm like super hyper focused on right now, right? No, do I want a partner? Yes. Do I want to spend time with people and kisses and cuddles and all that? Of course I do. Claro que sí. I love that. But I really think that there are a lot of people out here who are not understanding that no, we don't have to settle. We are not settling. We are choosing not to settle. And to tell a woman, well, you're either going to settle for, you know, the bare minimum, or you're going to settle for somebody who's not going to show up the way that you want or the way you desire, or you're going to die alone. I don't think that y'all really understand how peaceful it is to be at peace with yourself, right? Like, I don't get on any of, you know, my platforms to like boast or gloat or anything like that. But I will say that women that I know, like that are experiencing life, some are in relationships and some are not, but that are experiencing life in a way where we're able to provide for ourselves. We're able to give ourselves the things that maybe we never had before, or maybe that we're used to having had all of our entire life. We're not expecting for a man or another person to come in here and provide everything for us so we can just lay up and put our feet up. Would that be nice? Yes, that would be nice. But even if that was the case, I still wouldn't be able to rest in that. Like, I would still be out here getting it for myself, right? That's not to say from a place of hyper independence or I can do bad all by myself or whatever. It's just, I just desire to move around in life, right? I desire to pursue my passions. I desire to use my gifts in life and give to other people. I don't desire to sit still and not do anything. But back to my point of just like trying to gaslight women into you need to settle when we know for a fact that that is not true. I just want that talking point to be hung up. And I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion. I don't know if people are going to disagree with me in the comments, or people are going to threaten me to die of a lonesome death surrounded by cats, which I don't even like cats, okay? So if I go out, I'm going out surrounded by a bunch of pit bulls, right? But I need y'all to understand that having to pay bills and provide for myself and still be able to sleep at night knowing that I love myself enough to not put up with the bare minimum, to not have someone else in my face that is stressing me out, to not have someone else in my life that is trying to tell me that they love me, but they're not showing up for me while I'm continuing to show up and pour into them, or not doing it in a way that, you know, that is equal. I would rather be sola. I'd rather be soltera. And there are a lot of women that think like that. And I think that this talking point is really coming from men getting scared. I'm not going to go into statistics and studies about how this gender needs that gender. I am one who truly believes that we need each other. I believe that men need women and women need men. This is how we coexist into society. This is how we make the world to be continued a place that we inhabit together. I don't believe that one gender is better than the other or whatever the case may be. But I do believe that if you are ever in a situation where you need to choose peace or companionship, I'm going to always err on the side of peace. I'm going to always err on the side of relaxation. I've seen way too many people stick around in situations because they desire to have something so bad. I've done that myself. Like, I've stuck around in friendships or even in situationships because I desired something, or because I saw something in this person, or whatever the case may be. And I put that over valuing my own peace, over valuing my own self-value, over valuing not being stressed out, and continue to stay there and be stressed out. I've seen that too many times. And I think that with the upcoming generation of women, or even like my generation as well, like, we are not choosing that, right? And even women who are in relationships are, I know y'all are hearing this a lot and you're probably tired of hearing it, but are decentering men. And that doesn't mean like, oh, we don't date men and we don't talk to men and we don't desire relationships. That just means that all of my decisions and the way that I live my life, the way that I maneuver through this life, the way that I show up in this life, I'm not basing it off of how does a man see me? How does a man that wants to pursue me see me? Am I going to be attractive if I do this? Am I going to be deemed wifeable if I do this? It's like, no, I'm choosing what it is that I desire to do and what it is that I want to do. And I really think that a lot of guys are getting scared. And that they're seeing that there's so many women that are not willing to put up with nonsense, that they're trying to, in a sense, like gaslight us or scare us into putting up with nonsense. But then to that, I just say, why don't y'all go get the women who are willing to put up with that? Because while you do have a lot of women who may not be willing to put up with, I don't know, with going 50-50, or may not be willing to settle for the bare minimum. There are women who, you know, are not willing to settle for not being treated like a princess or be the passenger princess or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of women out here that are okay with it. And so what I have to say to that argument of men saying, y'all better start settling, you better start lowering your standards, why don't you go get the women who do want that? Why don't you go get the women who are looking for what it is that you're looking for, instead of going after the women who are not? Nobody has answered that question yet. Like, none of y'all, men or women, have answered that question yet. It kind of makes me think about the conversation about why are these self-proclaimed red pill or alpha males or whatever not with the pick-me's, right? Why are y'all not with the women who are like, I will put up my dreams and put them on the back burner to cook and clean and rub your feet and take care of kids and let you treat me like crap and go out there and cheat and not talk to me and not communicate and whatever the case may be, right? I'm saying the extreme, but my point remains the same. Like, why is it, instead of getting on these platforms and talking to these women who are telling you that they don't want to be in that type of relationship, that they don't want to settle, why, instead of talking to those women and trying to convince them to, why don't you just go get the women who are saying, yeah, come give me that, daddy, come give me all of that emotional immaturity and that nonchalantness and all of that? Like, why aren't y'all going to those women? I'm so tired of hearing that rhetoric spewed. And I'm here to say that if you are a woman who is, you know, kind of going back and forth with, you know, maybe I should settle or I should lower don't. Because anytime you do, to the extent that you're not honoring yourself and you're not honoring what it is that you want, you are always going to come out on the bottom. So I just say, choose what you feel is best for you. Don't sit up here and stick to social media to tell you what the rules and the guidelines for dating are. Don't sit up here and listen to people who basically have no leverage in your life, or who have no stake in your life or in your decisions, tell you how to make those decisions. You do what works best for you. If you're a woman who refuses to go 50-50, be a woman who refuses to go 50-50. If you're a woman who is good with going 50-50, be a woman who is good with going 50-50. If you desire someone who is on the same educational level as you, intellectual level as you, physical fitness level of you, whatever the case may be, and you know that's what you want, you know that's what you desire, you know that's what you're attracted to, then you don't need to let other people tell you you're never going to get that or you're never going to have that. Now, if you so choose, or if you're seeing in your dating patterns or whatever the case may be, well, maybe I can't have Roman Reigns, right? Maybe I can't have somebody who is built like a redwood forest tree and fine as all get out. I'm not going to say that you can't have somebody who's fine as all get out to you, but you know, maybe the guy who is 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", I use that because those are my favorite heights. I love me a good 5'8", 5'9", baby. But anyway, maybe instead of the 6'3" redwood forest tree giant, you go with the 5'9" track body, you know, whatever. So those are things that, yes, you can negotiate on those. Those are superficial things. Those are things that I'm not going to say that they don't matter, because you being attracted to someone definitely does matter. But I say this to say, figure out what your non-negotiables are, and what are those things that it's just like, this isn't something that I need, this is something that I want, right? And then you base what you pick, who you choose, how you maneuver in the dating world, who you decide to entertain based off of that. I will agree that, you know, sometimes we might find ourselves with these, I'm not even gonna say high standards, but with these desires that I'm not gonna say are unrealistic, but sometimes it's like, you can't fit people into a box, right? Everybody's not going to be perfect. You're never going to find that perfect person. Like, I'm not going to find a dude who looks like Roman Reigns and is perfect like Jesus. Like, that's just not going to happen. I mean, universe, if you have that in the cards for me, run it up. But I know that somewhere, you know, I can't just be like, oh, I'm not going to date anybody who doesn't look like this, or who doesn't present themselves as this, or whatever, because then I might be missing out on a lot of, you know, really good people, or really good opportunities to get to know really good people, or to know more about myself. But I will say that you don't have to be sucked into this notion of where you need to settle, and you need to settle for somebody who makes you, you know, sad, or makes you stressed out, or whatever, over being alone. When you really find yourself and you really know yourself, your solitude and the peace that you have within that, the peacefulness that you find from being soltera and valuing yourself, is going to trump anything else that anybody can provide you. So then when you do have people coming into your life trying to give you BS, trying to give you lower than what you want, trying to give you lower than what you're worth, you won't even entertain it, because you set yourself up and you know yourself so well, and you're so content with who you are as a person that doesn't even faze you. It's like, all right, cool, you can't provide what I need, you can go. You don't want to be emotionally available when I am emotionally available to you and to putting forth into this relationship and progressing this, you can go. You don't want to be consistent, you can go. And so then you're only leaving room for those things that you do desire. So when they do show up, you know how to recognize them. I'm just tired of the talking points of like, you're going to be alone and da, 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 da. And I've not personally had that said to me, but I have been told like, oh, you're too picky, or just different things like that. And all I really have to say to that is don't settle. Don't settle when you know what it is that you need. So again, figure out what your needs are, and then what your non-negotiables are, and what are those things that you're kind of like, that's what I would prefer, but you know, whatever. Figure out what that is, and then move forward based off of that. Because if you sit around listening to these men, or listening to these women, or listening to these people trying to tell you how to date, how to maneuver, and how to choose for you, they don't know you like that. So don't let them dictate how you move about this world. And definitely don't feed into these people telling you that you need to settle or die alone. Because child, honey, I'd rather go out happy and peaceful in my little 2-story loft, viviendo mi vida como yo quiero, than to be stressed out behind anybody that's not showing up for me in the way that I know that I need to feel well taken care of in a relationship. And well taken care of in the sense that I need to feel like I am safe emotionally, physically, and mentally, because that's what I'm providing over here, honey. So if you're showing up over here, that's what you're gonna get. But if that's not what you're giving, then you can get lost. So anyway, this is tu prima favorita, Bobby here. Tell me what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have something to input? Has somebody told you something crazy? Feel free to share, like, comment, share this video as well. And I will see you next time. Bye.